Hi, I'm Bhuvaneswari, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science and Applications, Sri Vidyamandar Arts and Science College, Autonomous, Uttangare. Today we are going to see about multi-thread programming in Java. Here we have some content to discuss throughout this presentation. So introduction to threads, multitasking, multi-threading, threads in Java, life cycle of thread, states of thread, how to create a thread and its priority. So one by one we will see it later. At the outset, threads. A Java thread is an execution, context, or lightweight process. It is a single sequential flow of control within a program. Java thread can be used to execute multiple tasks at the same time. It means it is a single independent stream that can run within a program. For example, we can say it an example email. Whereas multitasking is a method by which multitask, also known as processor, share common processing resource such as CPU. To print, we can say it for printing a document, we can access both Word document and also printer. Here we have two different kinds of multitasking. One is process based and another one is thread based multitasking. Process based multitasking is that it is a feature that allows your computer to run on or more threads concurrently. Whereas thread based multitasking, it is a single program can perform two or more tasks simultaneously. As I said earlier, we can say it for an example, text editor and printer. A process that is made of only one thread is known as single thread process, whereas process that create two or more threads, it's called a multi-thread process. So remind that only one thread is known as single thread process, whereas two or more thread is called a multi-threaded process. So multi-threading is a system environment where the tasks are sharing the same program under the multitasking environment, and it is a subset of multitasking since it's concern tasks which use the same program, and under the multi-threading environment a program shared by several tasks concurrently. For each task, the program must work as if it were executing instruction exclusively for each task. For instance, if I'm creating a single Java class, then I'm creating a object, one or more object for a same class. Then I can able to run based on the priority or else conditions. So I can access all the methods and classes by using the object. So multi-threading is the main point is that multi-threading is the system environment where the tasks are sharing the same program. The word is the same program under the multitasking environment. So the benefits of multi-threading is it provides the improved performance and minimize system resource usage, simultaneous access, program structure simplified. We will see example at the end of the slide. Threads in Java. So first of all, if we want to access the thread, we need to use the class thread. So it's coming under the java.lang thread classes. So it is used to construct and access individual threads in a multi-thread applications. It provides a thread API and all generic behavior for threads. These behaviors include starting, sleeping, running, ending, and having a priority. So the behavior is that it has some priority and its states, waiting state, sleeping state, and terminating. So this kind of states, these are all coming under behaviors. So task of threads is defined in a run method. So run method is the mandatory to run a thread program. So it gives a thread something to do. It's a code should implement the thread's running behavior. The first thread to be executed in a multi-threaded process is called main thread. So the main thread is created automatically on the start of the Java program execution. We have a life cycle. So for we have here we have four different states like new threads, runnable, not runnable, and terminated. So we need to create a thread. So it automatically gets start. After that, it has some position. It's need to wait or sleep or getting executed. So here we have some state, and that state is defined as runnable state and not runnable state. Not runnable states, it has some methods like wait or resume, suspend. So these are all. At the last state is dead state. So after complete execution of a thread. So the first one, a thread object that is newly created one. Here we have a syntax. Thread is a class name, new thread equal new thread is the object of a thread equal to new thread of this thread name. This keyword is represent the current object in a current context. The second task, that means state, that is runnable. When the start method of thread is invoked, the JVM calls the run method. Whenever we are running a thread program, automatically JVM invokes the run method. Now the thread is ready to execute but not allocated to the process because the process may be busy with another operation. If I am printing a document continuously, if I am going to print 10 pages of a document, I need to print a document one by one. So I need to get the first page, second page, so in a sequential way. So at the 7th page, it need to wait until the 6th page get print. So in this way, it will execute. Not runnable. So at certain stage, so as I said just before, that 7th document needs to wait until 6th page get print. So in this situation we have two methods, that one is sleep and wait. So the sleep and wait, the sleep method of thread class is called the thread goes to sleep state. The point is that the time is specified in the sleep method elapsed, then the thread moves to the runnable state. Whatever it may be, if I am printing a B C documents, if I am printing a document, after that B will get a print. No, I'm just insist them to, or else I make them to print after C. So after C I need to change the time, after 15 minutes, 10 minutes, 2 minutes. So in this way I can allocate the space for the B document. After the C document got printed, B will execute. So this is called sleep method and wait method. When a wait method is called, the thread goes to wait state, it moves to the runnable state when it's notified by another thread. The time is specified when wait method elapses. This is normal way of printing. If I am printing a first page, after the first page, second page will get executed. So second page should wait after the first page execution. Next, blocked and dead. Blocked state, when a thread is waiting for any input output operations, it's transition to block state when the required resource is available. Then it's moved to the runnable statement. It means when a thread tries to access the synchronized blocker method, but another thread is already hold the lock. We can see for an example, database and file. So it is a single thread. So until it should be blocked. And dead state, when a thread complete execution is transition to the dead state. That means when a run method finishes its execution, or when stop method is called on the thread. That means the successful completion of a thread program. Okay, so here we can create a thread by using two different ways. So the first way is to implement runnable interface. The interface name is runnable, and second one is by extending a thread class. So we can implement the interface, that is runnable, and we can extend a class, that is thread. So the first one is runnable interface. Here we are using to implement the interface, that is runnable interface. The syntax, the general form of this interface is public interface runnable, and here we are declaring method, that is void run. Okay, first of all, what is implementing runnable interface? So what is the use and why we are implementing? Okay, it is one of the standard Java interface that comes with the Java platform, and it also has runoff method which is to be overridden by the classes. The point is that is to be overridden by the classes. And the second one is extending thread class. So public class thread demo is the class name, extends and thread is the class. So thread demo is the user defined class name. So whatever your wish, we can give. So thread demo and extends thread. Here we have a public void run and transfer thread defined. So here we can define anything. So here extending the thread, we first create a class that extends the thread and override the run method. Whenever we are implementing or extending thread class, it automatically invoked or override the run method. Okay, then a thread can be created by creating an object of newly created class. That means thread can be created. So if I want to access the class, that means thread demo class, I need to extend the thread classes. Okay, so thread can be created by creating an object of the class. By creating object of the class means we need to create an object for thread demo class. Okay, now we are in a thread priority. So priority, it means if I want to set a priority one by one or one after one. So in this scenario, we need to use the concept as priority to execution of some programs. Okay, each thread has a priority. That means each program has a priority. In Java, we can specify priority of each thread relative to other threads. Those threads have higher priority to greater access to available resource than lower priority threads. Here we have some thread classes like a minimum priority, normal priority and maximum priority. Here we are defining 0 as a low priority and 10 is a high priority and normal priority is 5. If I am giving 10, if I am creating a 3 classes, for example, thread A, B, C. So here I am giving C as a maximum priority. After that, A and B, it will be same normal priority. After the execution, C will get first because I am giving maximum priority for the class A. So in this way, we can implement this priority to the thread programming. Okay, the priority of individual threads can be set to any integer value between and including the above defined constants. Thread priority can be modified any time after its creation using set priority method, and its priority value can be retrieved using get priority. So the main thing is to access the priority of a thread. So after giving a priority to the classes, some classes A, B, C, whatever it may be, we need to set the priority for the class. So the point is that set priority is to update or assign the priority of the thread to new priority. It may be minimum, normal or maximum. Whereas get priority is to retain the priority of given thread. So we are frequently using the method is called set priority. So in this method we can give a priority for a particular class. If two threads of same priority are waiting for the CPU, the thread scheduler choose one of them to run in a round robin fashion. This chosen thread will run until one of the following condition is true. That is, the thread program is purely based on the preemptive scheduling. The first, what is round robin fashion? So round robin, it is an arrangement of choosing all the elements in a group equally in some rational order, usually from the top to bottom, as we know well. So the higher priority thread becomes runnable. So as I said, it's a purely based on the preemptive scheduling. Okay, it's a held or run method exit on system that support time slicing. Its time allotment has expired. That means the specific time allotted to the processor to execute all the threads. So here we have an example for the threads using priority. Here I'm creating a class. The class name is my thread and it extends thread, and I'm giving a variable name as a private string thread name, and I'm creating a method name. Method name, it's also same as, we can give as your wish, or else here I'm giving my class name as a method name, and I'm passing a only one parameter, that is string name. In this method I'm creating a thread name equal to thread name. I'm assigning a name to the thread name, so which I have declared as a private variable. Okay, then I'm overriding a run method. In this run method I'm giving some conditions to execute a thread. So it should execute until less than 5. So it should execute a thread name plus iteration plus I plus 1. So it is less than 5. So it should execute less than 5 only. So in this run method I'm giving a condition and I'm giving a sleep, that is each and every thread programs should be executed after 500 milliseconds. So here I am declaring it in a sleep method. So after 500 milliseconds, then catch interrupt exception. If any exception in thread execution, it will throw an error. That error message is holding interrupted exception. So after I'm giving all the details, that means I'm giving a user defined classes and I'm creating a method, that is my thread, and I'm giving a run off method. Okay, so after that I need to go for the main class, and main class I need to access the threads. So I need to create an object for my thread class. Here I am creating a two object, thread 1 and thread 2. And new my thread, as we know, have to declare a Java classes and need to access some methods or properties, whatever it may be. We need to create an object to access certain kind of members. So I'm creating a thread 1 and thread 2. I'm set a priority for thread 1. Here my thread is only one class. I'm creating a more than one object for a single class. Okay, so thread 1 I'm giving a priority for minimum, and thread 2 I am set the priority for maximum. So after that I need to start thread 1 and thread 2. So after setting a priority for the classes, I need to start the thread. After the execution I will get the output thread 2 will get first, because I am giving here thread 2 as a maximum priority. After that thread 1 will get execute. So thread 2 is executed. Thread 2 iteration 1, 2, 3, 4 and iteration 2, iteration 5. So next iteration 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I am giving here as a less than. So I need to get the output only. I need to get output only less than 4. So here I am getting 5, iteration 5, I plus 1, 4 plus 1. So that's why here I am having iteration 5. So in this way we can give a priority for a thread. So this is all about multi-thread programming. Thank you.